Hello everybody and welcome to Pravus Gaming and Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. And to my fellow Americans, a very happy Independence Day. I hope you are celebrating with explosions in the sky and a liver full of booze, or something. That's how the Founding Fathers would have wanted us to go. Alright, so in this particular video, you've already seen the thumbnail, so you know what I'm going to do. Let's just go ahead and kill the suspense. We're going to do something that I swore that I would never do, but still has haunted me for the last several months, if not years. Oh, well, there it is, right there. I guess I don't even have to search for it. Rise of the Xenomorphs. So, I did this one a long time ago in the very early days of this this custom scenarios series, and it didn't go very well, to be fair. When I first recorded it, I was very sick at the time. I believe I had a pretty high fever, so I wasn't really in my best shape to begin with. And then I misread a few things, and that made some mistakes and confusion, and people said I was an absolute idiot for that. And then, frankly, on top of that, an ignorance. An ignorance of the Xenomorph lore and just Alien in general. I've seen Alien, I've seen Aliens 2, I've seen Prometheus, and that's it. And there were a lot of things and a lot of criticisms that I made about the scenario that weren't apparently very fair, but I wouldn't have known that having not seen the rest of the Alien movies. So, we're going to try this one again. I'm going to go in with an open mind, hopefully, and maybe I can earn a little bit more respect from some people and not have everyone hate me? I have no idea. There was a time, this was actually the most popular scenario in Plague Inc. for a very long time, and then for reasons I don't understand, it was accidentally deleted somehow off of the custom scenarios page and re-uploaded by the creator, so I'm going to try this one again. After the events of Alien Resurrection, again, a movie I haven't seen, the ship carrying the aliens crashed in the forests of the United States of America, and as it crashed, it took the aliens with it, and so the planet was safe. At least that's what we were made to believe. One royal facehugger survived the crash and is now crawling about in search for a new host to make the new queen. Luckily for it, an innocent woman just happened to be walking by. Funny thing is, you're in control, Empress. See, this, for the record, right here is one of the things that immediately put me off from the scenario back in the day. It's not because of the winky face, whatever. It's because the Empress thing. Apparently there is an actual Empress cited in the Alien lore. Apparently. I did not know that, having not seen anything about that. So for me, when I first read this, I'm thinking this sounds like a crappy fanfic scenario, because you know how like when kids are little and they're daydreaming and fantasizing about being like Jedi, for example. But I don't want to be just a Jedi, I'm the Grand Jedi Master! Something like that like makes you like super special, and it's like, oh good lord, you just sort of roll your eyes and cringe. That's kind of what I had thought was going on here. Apparently that's not true. Unless the fan wiki regarding Xenomorphs is wrong, I'm pretty sure there have been appearances somewhere in the Alien lore that there's like a brood mother, like the actual like Queen Mother, Empress style of Xenomorph. So, okay. I stand corrected on that sucker. Then there's a whole bunch of information about this, lots of custom icons and stuff, and I do recall there's a lot of customized stuff in here. So, oh boy, let's give it a shot. Oh my bane. It's a bacteria. Alright. Alien embryo. Sure, we'll stick with that right now. All hail the mighty Empress! You, as the mighty Xenomorph Empress, will control the Queen through telepathy, and with her all the Xenomorphs. Spend DNA to unlock new forms of the Xenomorph life cycle and the resistances to allow your hives to thrive. Go, spread your species and claim this planet as your own. Okay, when the cure reaches 100%, you're not dead. You can't cure a giant organism. But it doesn't mean that the corporations haven't found some way to work to your disadvantage, and it happens fast, so try to stop it. When it reaches 100% 3 times, you lose. Which is pretty cool in and of itself, by the way. That is a pretty interesting twist to the cure mechanics that the author has created. Alright, transmission. We start off with the Queen. The Queen is recently hatched from an innocent victim. She will build a warm hive and lay eggs to reproduce. We can also unlock the facehuggers or more eggs. Let's see. Once hatched from an eggs, they go around searching for a host to impregnate. Eggs, about 1,000 of these produced a day. Oh, I'm sorry, we start with this one. Never mind. Go for the facehuggers. That leads to target humans. Because the facehuggers have partial human DNA, their first choice for the hosts are humans, unlocks a new kind of xenomorph. And all of that will happen here in the symptoms tree. And as we target different types of creatures, we're going to unlock different types of xenomorphs, which we'll go over a little bit more in the future. The dissolved truth. When killed, facehuggers will release their acidic blood and dissolve themselves. Without facehugger bodies to examine, research is harder to conduct. Could be kind of useful, but I think primarily we want to focus on some infectivity. Transmission. Yes, we have to go for the humans first. Now that does give me some severity. We could hold back and just sort of wait for a little bit. We're infecting already. You know, let's just go for the dissolved truth before we go too far. Now, I do recall there's supposed to be some sort of hidden mechanic in this scenario where you actually do have a queen located in some country, and if she is killed, then you lose the scenario. How they determined that, I don't rightly recall. It sort of seemed a little weird to me at the time, and I'm still not sure how it works, but maybe we'll find out a bit more later. New parasitoid discovered! WY Corp has recently discovered a new species of parasitoid when it attacked a man and attached onto his face. The man was saved, the organism killed, and is currently being used for research purposes. They've renamed them facehuggers. See, this is such an iconic moment to me. These kind of things back in the original Alien movie. Oh, gosh. Now, that actually is like a sci-fi gem. Like, the original Alien, come on, you gotta admit, is amazing. Gotta love that. We could target some avians, impregnate the birds, unlocking a new kind of xenomorph, or we could target the quadrupeds. Now, I guess I'll come back to this, but I have some thoughts on this where I made a mistake before as well. Eggs 2, could go for that. Slightly increases infectivity, but the facehuggers are cheaper and reduces severity and increases infectivity. Yeah, we definitely want to go for an upgrade to the facehuggers. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. I really am trying to go into this with a better attitude. Not sick. Hopefully I won't make stupid mistakes, and hopefully people won't crucify me and call me a moron. Which, you know, on the internet shouldn't mean much. But somehow, you know, it's after months/years of this, it gets kind of annoying. I'm just kind of like, you know what? Let's put this to rest. Once and for all, let's finally end this dang thing. Now, of course, we're having a hard time spreading in the USA. We are still limited by the fact that it is a wealthy country, but even so. So Eggs 3 is available, and that is very effective, which I like. Allows you to hatch 4 facehuggers from every egg. Now, is that actually a thing? Like, is that actually a thing in the lore? I have no idea. 4 facehuggers per egg. Good lord. Quadruplets. Mazel tov. You must be very proud, Empress. Yeah, I'm just trying to stack up some points. We haven't gotten into any other new countries yet either, which is fun. There we go. Just as I say that, we get into Mexico. Thank you. 16 points is what I need for the eggs. Or we could go for Facehuggers 3, which does increase severity as well as the infectivity. Also, a bit of lethality, a little too early for my taste. We're definitely going to save up for the eggs. I suspect eggs might be better. Come on, there you go. All right, thank you. Very effective now. Good. Okay, so we could focus on working on quadrupeds or avian or so, but we haven't even unlocked the basic xenomorphs yet. Incubation period is probably one we want to go for next. Now, that is pretty severe, it looks like. Yeah, it is. Victims of the facehuggers, named as infected, will experience the following due to the growing organism in their chest: sore throat, hunger, nausea, and dizziness. Pretty noticeable, turns out, but that is what is going to lead to the Chestbursters, and eventually a whole bunch of xenomorphs. Abilities, still nothing new, we just have the dissolved truth. So I could sit back for a while and just try to be as effective as possible, but I think we'll be aggressive and we'll try going for the incubation period and work toward getting them xenomorphs going. There you go, Chestbursters are next. The embryo has grown while absorbing some of the host's DNA, and after 12 to 24 hours it'll begin to eat its way out, resulting in the host's horrific death. So that's pretty darn lethal. If there's anything that I can do that increases infectivity with... Oh, never mind, we mutated. Alright, they didn't want to wait anymore, they just wanted to be born. Okay, there we go. A few patients treated for dizziness, nausea, and chest pains all died due to an unknown creature growing inside of them. How the parasite got there is an unanswered question. These new creatures have been named Chestbursters. WYC says to stay calm. No! Panic and freak out! I've got it on a poster behind me right now. Drones and harvesters, the weakest of the xenomorphs. This strain helps move eggs or victims and will obey higher-ranked xenomorphs without question. I guess we'll go ahead and pick that sucker up. That leads to warriors, which... This is kind of an awkward-looking image. Does it have wings? Flippers? I don't know. I'm kind of confused with what I'm looking at. I'm assuming that its head is bent down. I don't really remember. I think it's just got like fins between their little like arches, spines on their back. The defenders of the Hive. This strain is stronger than the drones that they evolved from. They'll obey the queen, but don't need commands to act. 2 meters long. Very important to understand how long they are, by the way. That's absolutely crucial information. The creatures escaped. The captured Chestbursters from before have grown incredibly fast and are almost 2 meters in length. They escaped the WYC labs and have killed off all the scientists. There has to be a link between the xenomorphs and the facehuggers. Newsflash, there is. I could go for the facehuggers again, but you know what? Let's go ahead and unlock, let's say, the quadrupeds. And that leads to runners, which are extremely strong and fast. Okay. Could work on that. The question really is, do we want to keep going for more... Oh, we have new stuff here, actually. Advantage in the cold or the heat. Not sure if we need that or not. The big trick for me is just not getting murdered by the humans. I don't know if extra severity is a good thing for me right now or not. Let's go for the target avian, and that should unlock flying aliens. A winged type of xenomorph has taken the DNA of an avian species and bursted out of it and took the form of a winged xenomorph. Can drop fake suggers from above. Look out below! Dive bomb! Something like that, I don't know. Anyway, so we could pick that up. That's very infective. Way more infective than everything else because we're dropping facehuggers all crazy. Yeah, let's just go for some more facehuggers. That leads to sticky facehuggers. The facehuggers will develop a slime layer on their bodies. Are you sure it's not mucus? Allowing them to climb on walls and ceilings increases infectivity and severity. New parasitoid is dangerous. They defend themselves by spitting their own blood, which is highly corrosive and has been seen melting skin and glass. Stay away at all costs, humans. Game over, man. Game over. So do you want to go for that, or do we want to keep working down some xenomorphs? I think we just keep working down this tree. Flying facehuggers is now available, so they can breathe thin air outside of planes. Could be useful. Or royal facehuggers. Sometimes an egg produces special facehuggers that contains an embryo that isn't affected by the host's DNA. New hives can be started by new queens in other countries. Now, I have no idea how you tell if a new queen has been born in a new country and whether or not that matters. Right? Because as I said before, there is this thing like where you can actually try to defend your queen, and if someone kills your queen, you pretty much lose, I think, if I recall correctly. So the problem is, how do I know when someone's getting close to killing my queen? And also, how do I know when new ones have been created? I don't know, but I think by taking this, we're pretty much safe from here on out. Plant and disappear. My wife is trying to hold her laughing in right now. You can let it out. No? You don't want to anymore? Stop watching PewDiePie, please. Okay, the oxygen that facehuggers feed their victims is enriched with stress hormones, causing the host to forget the traumatic happening. Reducing severity. Could be useful to try and slow down the cure, since we haven't actually infected too many countries right now. I mean, that's not to say we have infected plenty of countries, but we haven't fully infected them, so not contributing quite as much to the DNA as they could be. So we're going to go ahead and do plant and disappear. That should reduce things a fair bit. So we could go for the flying facehuggers, and I guess I will. That leads to aquatic facehuggers for ship transmission, which I suspect is going to be necessary so we have a better chance of getting onto them boats. And that leads to aquatic creatures that we can also infect and implant, steal their DNA, and create a new type of xenomorph, an aquatic fishy type. Okay. And then lastly, they have target predators. Where you find xenomorphs, you'll find predators hunting down their favorite prey. However, you saw that coming, didn't you? Well, yeah, because I'm aware that the Predator movies are related. That said, I have never seen any of the Predator movies, but supposedly in the lore it is possible for xenomorphs to infect the Predators and have this kind of weird hybrid critter. Whether or not that matters, I don't know, but anyway. Okay, so, swimmers, very infective, pretty lethal. I think we'll grab that so we're more likely to get out to some of the islands like Greenland. Would hate to miss out on that, especially given the fact that we do have so much lethality and stuff. They're gonna feel like they want to get free of me pretty quick. Let's go for the DNA and the advantage in the coal. We have a really royal facehugger. One random royal facehugger will use its limbs to swim or run to a random country. Now that's my backup if I miss out on Greenland. We could go for a DNA advantage in the heat, but I'm not going to go for that right now. Let's instead go for, let's say, we could go for the warriors to defend the Hive, and I guess we'll go ahead and do that. Praetorians, the elite troops of the Hive. These tough warriors are very strong and extremely difficult to kill. They exist to guard the queen. Sounds like something we probably will want. Okay, I guess we'll go ahead and grab that now. Spitters. These xenomorphs spit their acidic blood from long range and are also able to spot enemies at long distances, aggressive and lethal. Carriers. When Praetorians can't become a new queen in the event of the old one's death, they'll become carriers, carrying facehuggers around their back. Now, we're going to get maxed out on infectivity pretty quick. Like, that's not going to be the issue for me. Only thing we're missing, by the way, is Greenland. So if we can't get a boat over there, no problem. I can just use the really royal facehugger. Bull alien. This is something I was looking for. A xenomorph that can hatch from an ox. So, when I had been playing this scenario a while back, remember how I was talking about how I already was kind of going into this thinking, wow, this may be kind of a dumb fanfic scenario? People just like the Alien movies, but it's otherwise just a lot of fan fiction, which doesn't necessarily have to be bad. If people like it, that's great, but it just kind of puts me off a little bit as kind of amateur, right? Again, I think I was wrong about the Empress stuff. There is supposed to be actual references to that, but also, apparently, some of these things, which I thought was kind of gimmicky and, again, kind of fanfic, oh, look, I've got a flying xenomorph. Mine sprouted wings, you know? Apparently not. apparently some of these things, like bull aliens and stuff, there's actually like a dog alien and a bull alien, depending on what they hatch from, and this actually is also a part of the war. I think this is part of... Is this part of Alien 3? They're called dragons or something by default? I can't remember for sure. Either way, so again, it's just more proof of how I was wrong and I'm a big dum-dum, because they're a thing. They're a real thing. Let's go for the runners. Chrysalis, a special unit that can roll itself into a ball and strike its victims at speeds of up to 80 miles per hour. I have no idea if that's in part of the lore, but at this point, I'm willing to acknowledge that I may not know at all what I'm talking about. They have successfully cured me and a large stat drop has occurred. That is okay with me, I suppose. Now, let's see. Do I keep focusing on this? I lost so much infectivity there. Holy crap. Okay, go for the flying aliens. Make up for some of that. Now, here's where I made some mistakes before. Let's see if I can read this and see if it makes any sense. So there's the Army Initiative. Instead of killing humans on sight, warriors will render them unconscious and bring them to the Hive, so when facehuggers hatch, they can be impregnated immediately. Misspelled. Okay, makes sense. I get it. It reduces lethality because we're taking them back to get infected. Then there's this thing, Defending Pact. The Xenomorphs will only protect their Hive and will only attack other animals if they form a threat to the Hive or the Queen, winning condition. And then there's Aggression Pact. Xenomorphs will search relentlessly for any other species on the planet. When it forms a threat, they will kill it. If not, they will be exposed to the facehuggers. So in the past, I looked at this, and I'm like, I guess I'll grab both, because there's nothing that stops you from getting both of these eventually. I looked at this Defending Pact thing, and I saw a winning condition, and I'm like, oh, I guess maybe since this is the only one that specifies it's a winning condition, I have to get it. Again, remember, I was fevered. So I ended up taking things like Army Initiative, Defending Pact, stuff that kind of goes in contrary with each other, and it's like, people were like, oh, you're an idiot. I'm like, well, maybe I am, but I don't know. I mean, I just, in my addled brain, saw a winning condition and thought, maybe that's what I have to go for. I don't know. Xenomorph pollution. The Xenomorphs pollute the water reservoirs in big cities with their acidic blood, making it undrinkable. Extra DNA from blue bubbles. Grab. Excuse me. Okay, so we need more DNA to survive here. More DNA from orange bubbles could be kind of good. I'm kind of questioning if at this point this is going to be helpful or worse. Let's grab this because I need more fuel. We've killed a lot of people. We're going to be killing more, but I need more DNA. We got Chrysalis for free. Actually, mutation chance could be a saving grace for me at this point. Let's go for the really royal facehugger. Guarantee we get into Greenland. There, problem solved. Nothing to worry about. So do we want to go for the Army Initiative and then maybe the Aggression Pact this time? And really get everyone killed? What's this? Crushers. An evolved Praetorian-like runner. Their thicker head armor is bulletproof. Pretty lethal. I think it's better to go for the Army Initiative here, which, I'm sorry, hang on, reduces lethality, I'm aware. Well, no, maybe I just goofed this up again. I think Army Initiative and I think we go kill. It's not necessarily true, they just go kidnapping people, basically. No one ever hear from the victims again. I wonder if this leads to a victory condition of its own. I have no idea. Maybe a victory condition where instead of defending the Hive, we just turn everyone into Xenomorphs, but we haven't necessarily just gone off and killed them for extinction. We just... everyone gets converted? I don't know. In the meantime, we're getting quite a bit of fuel. Should I just commit to this route and see what happens? Red bubbles are worthless to me at this point in the game. Let's commit to it. Let's commit and see what happens. The drones will raise the Chestbursters until they are fully grown Xenomorphs, protecting them from threats. More warriors are born, so more lethality. And now you get your lethality back. Or at least some of it anyway. I don't know. Maybe that's not quite the victory condition I think I was hoping for. Even so, we're killing people pretty quick. We're getting some extra DNA from all these different bubbles. Spitter's mutated for free. I think we're just going to end up killing everybody if I had to guess. Yeah. That extra infectivity does not do a lot for me at this point. Alright. So do we want to go for the Aggression Pact so we just go kill people? Probably. That's more lethal at this point. And we'll let the mutation chance have an opportunity to get me some freebies. What is this? Boilers. When drones and harvesters are too old to be of any more use, they become boilers. Blind, they'll sprint at any unknown sounds and explode into an acidic wave of a wave of acidic blood. There we go. It's kind of cool. I don't know. Again, it's one of those things where I don't know how much this is part of the lore. If I've only seen Aliens 1 and 2 and then Prometheus, which was really just something I watched because it was new. I don't know. It's just kind of like, maybe I'm missing out. Maybe, how much new stuff did they really come out with all the different Alien movies? No idea. A lot, apparently. Alright. So we're going for that aggression pact, and we're killing a lot of people. We should start getting a lot more DNA now that we are killing. Do we want to go for the army initiative? Do we want to slow down the cure? At this point, I don't think we need to worry about the cure. I don't think they're going to get to another 100%. So let's go ahead and max out that army initiative. Mission to destroy the hives. Highly weaponed squads have been sent to kill the Xenomorphs' queens and destroy the hives. We all await intention for our brave heroes. This doesn't seem good. I would evolve something to protect the queens, like Praetorians, maybe. Now, again, this is one of those things where this is more of a limitation of the custom scenario stuff, not the author. But I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Supposedly, then, I'm trying to think. I get what they mean, right? He said it straight up, something to defend the hive. Obviously, you want to go for something like this. What I'm thinking in my head, though, is how he created that. Is there like a hidden script where this reduces the chance of an instant fail because your queen got killed? Or something like that? Is like, I don't know. I'm curious how he did it. I know that it works. Mission a total failure. Well, thank God! The queens were highly protected by Praetorians, and if we managed to kill the queens, she was replaced by one of the strongest Praetorians in the hive. Maybe it is impossible to repel this threat. Okay, so apparently that worked. Maybe it has nothing to do with a random chance thing, like a random number generator, and everything to do with when you get that event, if you don't have Praetorians, you instantly lose? Not sure. Possibly, but I'm not sure. Alright, let's go for a bit more lethality. Crushers sound fun, but let's go for carriers and see what we have here. Ravagers. Ravagers have an extremely hard exoskeleton which can withstand a missile blow. The blades on its hands are hard as diamonds and are able to cut a chopper in half. Again, please keep in mind, like reading this stuff, if I had never seen Aliens 3 and beyond, wouldn't all of this sound like crappy fanfic? I mean, again, I'm wrong. Like, I recognize that I am wrong on this. I didn't know at the time. But having done some research in anticipation of doing this video and trying again, because it's haunted me for so long, now I know. But at the time, how could I have known, right? I think my judgment came from the right mentality at the time, despite the fact that I was sick. I just didn't have the correct information, and my ignorance made me seem like a dum-dum. That's really what it comes down to. The Xenomorphs have killed off all of the humans. The Earth is a big place full of new organisms to hatch from. What will the future generations bring us now that the humans are gone? So that was it. The humans are consumed by fear. This time we didn't go for the defensive pact. We just killed everybody and it was successful. All right, cool. So knowing what I do now, this scenario is a heck of a lot better than I initially gave it credit for. There's no doubt about it. I was wrong. Straight up, okay? I was wrong. I think that knowing as little as I did, I think I made a fair assessment at the time, but my own ignorance led me to the wrong conclusions, is basically what it comes down to, and maybe this is a sign why I shouldn't be playing scenarios that are based on things I know nothing about. You know, like Silent Hill not too long ago, stuff like that. Now that said, I was also sick at the time, so I made some mistakes, and those I think you'll have to forgive me, but the overall misunderstanding of the premise and the criticisms of it being just a dumb fanfic thing with a lot of crappy random xenomorphs that didn't actually have any basis in the lore, I was wrong. It did have a basis in the lore, and you know what? I'm willing to own up to that. Yeah, now that I know what I do, it actually is a pretty good scenario. So it took me like a year and a half to try it again. I just stubbornly refused, but you know what? Now I know, and I'm kind of glad that I do. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed this special episode. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment telling me how stupid I still am, and of course subscribe if you have not already. My name is Pravus, and I will see you guys next time.